There is a place as the light begins to fade. Ember ran, because standing still made them feel help. The wall glistened. Ember felt so that it was a relief to find someone to talk to. Ember froze when they noticed a small satchel. The satchel felt heavy. The statue shone brightly in the light. Ember noticed something wrong. There was a round space where something used to fit. To Ember's delight, the golden statue slid perfectly into place. Ember left, feeling sorry for the stranger. The stairway opened into a dark forest. Ember could feel fear taking over. They'd washed up alone, somewhere very unfamiliar. Ember felt like they were being watched. As Ember approached, the caged flame stoked new hope in Ember. Hope was almost within reach. The flame spoke and Ember listened. The flame lingered there. Was it trying to escape? Or leading the way? The crow held its shining trophy tight. Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The broken net hung ominously around the skeleton's neck. The stranger shivered in the cold. They'd moved through such dark places. They lay down and closed their eyes. Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by the passing miles. The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep? The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The stranger had been forgotten. The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you. The stranger had blazed their own path, created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. It was hard to make sense of this place. The trail just kept on closing. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clear. The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond. Only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. The fisherman felt so useless. Every day. For a brief moment he looked at Ember, hoped the fisherman saw 'em grow, spent every day side by side. So much catches 'em before. Oh, it makes me feel useless, the fisherman sighed. The old man looked careful. Well, it helps though, telling someone. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. With the silk, with each knot he tied. Here you go. Good as new. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them. The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. Key was never, but it was just out of reach. The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head. The sea didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand. stranger, look down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend. The ghost said, "You have done all you, little one. The path to I will guide others to follow after you clear the way." There are others like you. Will always be welcome here in the forest. Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things. The guard showed, and with a bag, both guards started looking at Ember. The guard yes, come a little closer. We guard the... Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The forest king. Yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to. The giants, do not fear. The bird, Ember wanted to feel safe. Oh, little birds will take and stay safe, and Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See? Birds will make the world less. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird grew trying, and birds will protect you from the forest king. Perhaps they could rest. It was hard to know what else to say. Clever little, you will stay. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather. Feather me. Birds keep little. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seem, I can hold that. Leave him alone. Yeah, one of us. And we all shares bags and things. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come nothing down. Go see the forest king. He'll set you straight. Got your first. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass. Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? Hidden away was a scrap. There were memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The forest king seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds. A figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? It looked like a map, but pieces were... The piece formed a new route. Another hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. It was the same place as before, but how? An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound. The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? The statue spoke. The instrument another before you took great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow. A lost message. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far enough to tell. There was one last place to reach on the map. Gradually, more of the map was revealed. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundation. It was like the map had been broken on purpose. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. Something beckons. This place is not home. Ember found a lost message. The smell of hot broth and hearty stew wafts across the swamp. By the Inside was a scrap of journal. In the orchard, I meet the stranger from the cook's fire. A stranger no longer. Together we fill their satchel. The Wanderer's diary. An ancient throne sits empty. No one remains. Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. The fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell. A hideous odor filled the air. And suddenly, the reason was obvious. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. We stop by the warmth of another campfire. The guardian spirit provokes us, asks what we hope to resolve. I do not understand the question. My companion is silent. The pig inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, Ember shuffled near other embers fed, but then stopped. You feed me now. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Surprising. A little but what I want is something more fruity. The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Snorty piggy, simple piggy, so easily teased with fruit. They are no help until they are fed. A few grow fat, wobbling on their trotters. And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Fruity, fresh, but what I want is something with more crunch. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful. Ember came upon another campfire lost in the wilderness. It looked long cold, but ready to be lit. The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it. This was the last thing Ember could find to offer. Crunchy? But what time the pig's stomach made an almighty sound. Ember chuckled with relief at the large creature they had been so... The pig had vanished, but something moved beneath the surface. In a muddy pond, Ember thought the pig shout, "Join me, morsel!" The pig seemed happy, but Ember, why do I need some true nourishment, but so much cooler in this muddy pond, I can finally think. Thank you, morsel. Ember thought about the pig. Fed to bursting. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. Hands encircled around the evening fire, merry lanthorn tunes, singing out the promises of old. Will home be as we remember? The stranger was afraid. They couldn't see what lay ahead. Ember saw their own fear reflected in the stranger. The darkness hungered for them all. Little Ember spoke hesitantly. How do you continue, never knowing if we'll reach the end? The pot had turned cold. The fire had died. Nothing the cook made felt good enough. Endlessly stirring the same tasteless pot. Couldn't focus, sleepwalking through the days. In the eye of the storm, a fragile flicker. They wanted to serve something perfect. The praise of others was hollow. The cook felt numb and hurt all at once. The cook spoke. I must have lost myself for a moment. It's supposed to be, but it's not ready. A wonderful You look stuck. Have a little taste. It was the most beautiful. I know. Ember wished the cook would believe them. Oh, I'd forgotten. But it's not ready. The cook stirred this. Soon, maybe. Oh, I used to, but nothing has flavor. I'm stuck. If you know what you... But I really need something if it was still standing. Oh, the cook struggled. Pigs have got planted every sap. Only hard work. Take the key and have a look yourself. I can't see if anything is left, but I promise you, there won't be. Ember watched as the helpful piggy cleared the path. Ember found a scrap of journal. The lanthorn wards off ghosts and fear. It shapes the world as we wish it. I urge my companion to rest, but still they stare into the fire. The stranger couldn't take on more. The stranger stretched their limbs. Perhaps it is not too late after all. Hidden inside was the wanderer's journal. Our feet are weary, the hours long. There will be much to do when we arrive. I tell my companion of those waiting at home. They do not seem to know what to say. stranger puzzled over their journey. Some steps felt effortless. They twisted by unseen. Gratefully, the stranger said, "Friend, thank you. We all help each other along the path." Inside was a secret diary entry. The satchel is almost bare, our supplies exhausted. The taste of a good meal is not easily forgotten, but it slipped my mind to thank the cook. A lost message was inside. Our music crafts our path, bridging over any we pass. My companion's hand clutches mine. We dart like fireflies through the swamp. The orchard gate was locked and needed a key. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The cook was right. The pigs had destroyed everything. The pig devoured the fruit with careless abandon. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. A memory lapse at the edge of my dreams. A time before the water, someone I wish to stay for. We must hurry home. The frog seemed nervous, but also relieved. They told Ember and that the pigs had all whilst the birds watched. Except one, the frog offered the lotus seed. They pleaded for, as the frog knew how important good ingredients were, and Ember found a lost message. To see hope fade in those you care for. The harder I squeeze, the quicker it slips away. The stranger closed their eyes and let the fog overwhelm them. Soft, gentle fog, it held them like a vice. The mist could not be pushed, would not be fanned away. The stranger spoke. The fog didn't choose me, it just was. I hope it never closes on you, friend. The stranger couldn't face themselves. It just hurt to be outshone. It had been easier just to turn aside. The stranger searched Ember's face. Is there hope for me, do you think? Will I make it? The stranger knew they had to move on. The path behind was forever closed. They tried so hard to see it all. To leave now seemed unbearable. The stranger stared past Ember. I'm almost ready. Let me sit a little longer. I will catch up. Inside was a scrap of journal. Less and less grows here. I dare not go in the caves alone. The spiders. The Wanderer's Diary. Frogs play at the feet of fallen statues. Simple, splashy, happy little hoppers. They seem content in the home they've made. The stranger had come so very far. They felt the air beneath them, the distance ever widening. It was such a long way down. A resolve stirred within the stranger. Just a few more steps. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The earth resists my wishes. The lanthorn will not answer when I... Hello there. I can't believe I've never cooked. Ember felt happy. What a lovely... Please try some. Help yourself. Be well, little one. And do remember me if you are ever hungry. The pig was my insides feel. I did not dream we will plant a compliment to the chef. The ghost said, "You have done all you have done well. I will clear the path ahead for you." You have seen, they know the secrets of this place. Seek them out. Ember uncovered a journal entry. I dock my boat at the final harbor. Soft drips dripping over slick black rock. Something hisses from the dark. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. The snake is drawn to the light. They are not so fearsome after all. I think they mean no harm. Well now. Fun. Hope you have a good. Ember's heart sank. Ember told the birds about all they had. Save your Oh yes, tell the lies to the king. Ember felt nervous standing before the king. Frustrated. You must rest now. You give false, try and fail, and Ember could feel the Forest King looking. This end, why not stop? You must. Last chance. Make sure gates are locked. Let no more in. Ember took the key. What choice did they have? Yeah, don't betray the Forest King again. The crossroads gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. Eagerly, Ember left the birds behind, glad to be free. Ember was at the smell of like it had once been flooded, but now was bone dry. Excitedly, the stranger said, "Friend, together we can. I've got a plan. Been waiting. You help me, and I'll help you. Try lowering the crab over here with the chum in that bucket." Ember found a scrap of journal. In the dark, I slip and stumble, land hard upon my knee. Without thinking, I reach for an absent hand. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Alone, I searched. I swallowed hesitation. And at last, the doorway opened. But beyond, there was nothing. I did not understand. Inside was a secret diary entry. And so it goes. We try, we fail, there is nothing more. Home is not as I wished. Hope, do not believe in false hope. Bellows breathed life into the fire beneath the boiler. Oh, I think there's one more of those valve things. I hope we don't get in trouble for this. With a satisfying rush, the dam waters burst. Ember really did hope they wouldn't be in trouble. A lost message was inside. The embers rush past in a blur. They must not know what awaits. Oh, foolish little embers. A few trip and falter, grasping for a reason to stop or turn around. With everything flooded again, Ember wondered if now they could reach the entrance of the cave. Freed from the mud, the boat looked inviting. The boat was a perfect fit for Ember. It felt like they were on the right path at last. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. A few embers flocked together. Together we linger. Together we could be a beacon, a lighthouse. The passageway was dark and eerily silent. Ember wondered why the dam had been blocked. Ember found a lost message. I cannot move on, but I can protect others. We would be comfortable here, happy one day. The gate, oh, what was the gate keeping locked away? Ember had found another unlit campfire at the heart of the cave. Inside was a scrap of journal. A rusty bucket rattles in the depths, a meddler from a bygone time. They want to be helpful, piecing together the wood and the gears. I ensure they do not see what they build. A shadow moved in the distance. Ember hoped that it was a trick of the light. The stranger was wary, coiled and tense. The dark had gifted them friends in the past. The dark had stolen much more. Would this new light do the same? The stranger whispered, "I'm so tired. Do you know the way?" The creature's body slithered between the rocks, seeming to never end. The Wanderer's Diary. No more lanthorn tunes, no more confrontation. hazy faces put aside, none need face the end. The stranger was tired of pretending. They'd never have made it on their own. Fortune had always favored them. Had they deserved to make it this far? The stranger spoke simply. "Thank you." Terror gripped Ember suddenly. Fear overwhelmed them. Splintered, they sat for a moment. Perhaps the Forest King was right. There was no hope here. A discarded builder robot. The poor thing was rusted. The builder's thoughts were stuck in a loop, turning slowly to rust, only the echoes for company. Disconnected gears in their head turning round and round. Each unshared moment went the same. Lost and uncared for was a dim glow. The years of loneliness had warped the builder's feelings. Who's there? It's dark. Ever keep talking to me, please. Aye. It's been so long since I've talked to anyone. I can... And outside, it's okay if you don't. But it would be so nice to see what you look like. It was wonderful. Don't forget me, please. The others never came back. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. In a forgotten clearing, I meet a stranger, but they do not respond. Motionless, their body all rock and cold. What has happened? The builder took a moment as they... So that's what you... I don't know what I expected, but... Sorry. It's just been so... I've never been... You seem... different. Wait. How did you get here? Oh, that's on... You'll be stuck here. The builders seem to have... You know... Maybe I can help you. This is so exciting. It's been so long since I made some. Ember watched in amazement. Could I get your input for a moment? The scraps of broken wood and metal were being transformed. Could I get your input for a moment? Whatever the builder was making was nearly ready. Sorry, it's a bit rough around the edges. It's, definitely seaworthy. You hate it, don't? Ember stood in stunned silence. That is such a relief. Really warms my pistons. I'm so happy. Oh no, I'm not... Oh, that's truly... I would have... But if you see any other... Ember would come back if they could. Perhaps the builder just needed more time. The boat was a little unconventional, but Ember already loved it. Tremendous, terrifying shape slithered from the shadows. The snake's body coiled around the forlorn like a scaly shield. Ember uncovered a journal entry. I find another encased by stone. I feel their mutterings, whispers under my skin. They are forlorn. They cannot find home. The stranger was so lost. swirling and coiling, lost forever. The stranger looked at Ember with relief. I tried to go back, but I just went nowhere. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. The forlorn have entered my dreams. Their accusing voices in... The stranger's thoughts bubbled up freely. The invitation was clear. Some thoughts were easily found. Some thoughts only whispered. Old feelings in a complex tongue. The stranger had much to consider. The stranger seemed grateful. I think I have to choose for myself. Ember felt pity for the skeleton, without a flower to mark their grave. Ember found a scrap of journal. I kneel in the damp. Tiny stones pierce my knees. The mud soaks. Lost. Too tired to sleep. I will not be stone. The stranger had misplaced a memory. He tried to remember, but found more voids. Only the shape of the thought remained. The stranger looked around fearfully. I stayed in the nest too long. The spindle was missing a handle, so Ember couldn't turn it. A tremendous, terrifying shape slithered from the shadows. The snake's body coiled around the forlorn like a scaly shield. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Damn the water, scuttle the boats. This will be our new home. We will stay in our nest forever. The stranger's heart was in knots. The sun, a faded memory. With tears, the stranger said, "You have reminded me, friend. The beacon." Inside was a secret diary entry. "This is the promised home. I have nothing to resolve. Close the gates." The stranger had been robbed by an icy hand. They had burned so bright, so brilliant. But with flicker and ash, their flame had faded. The stranger looked at their hands tearfully. "I had forgotten how warm it feels, just being." The ghost said, "You have done all your journey. You have cleared. I will guide them after you have gone." Only ask them know that if you return here, you will always be welcome. The taste of fresh air was welcoming as Ember left the caves behind. Something was wrong. Ember could feel it. It was quiet. All the birds. A lost message was inside. Feathers red and ashes white, embers shelter from the night. Still and safe and nestled tight, final hours of the fading light. Chains and pulleys in the base of the chair. It didn't feel real. The Forest King wasn't real. Broken boats were scattered on the water. In the clearing, Ember hoped to find answers. Behind the Forest King's puppetry, the strangers. Don't you see? What hope can there be in that? The stranger had Ember knew they spoke the truth. The path goes on, slipping beyond. In the end, what have I done? Slowly, the stranger withdrew. I wanted to be. How do you save others once your light has gone out? The Wanderer's thoughts had become twisted. Hiding every day behind a mask. Watching hopeful little ones arrive endlessly. Knowing the empty path that lay ahead. Inside their dim light was a hidden pain. They had watched those they care for turn forlorn. They had locked their hope away, tried to protect it. And Ember's actions had seemed a distorted mirror. The Wanderer searched for words. When I reached, this is all that... How do you face that? I'm not ready. I turned back, built a little. You hope, you try, you fail, and then... nothing more. I thought I was... But without an end, they lost hope anyway. The Wanderer took a breath. I thought it would lead somewhere. Me, Ember paused. So many places, so many others whose paths had crossed their own. After everything, only my boat. Finish your journey. Leave this place. Ember knew the end. Were they any more ready than the Wanderer? There is a place where the lost embers go as the light begins to fade.